Hello and welcome, my name is Kyle. Thanks for joining me for another episode of Let's Play 80 Days. Here we are in Herat. It's 7:04 a.m. in the morning of day 30. Let's go ahead and check out the market, see what is here. We may have done this last time, but I haven't played the game in a while, so I'm kind of not quite sure what's going on. I think we're fine. We could sell this for 170, but I'm not going to do that. Let's see what our route choices are. I've kind of even forgotten that stuff. So we can either go to Kabul, which leaves in 4 days. We can go to Quetta, which arrives tomorrow, which will get us out to Lahore. And I think, unless we do some exploration, which we do have time for, because that doesn't... No, that leaves today. So if we want to get to Quetta, that departs at 3 p.m. So we could possibly do a little bit of exploring and still make that. Otherwise, we're going to be waiting for a while to get to Kabul. But maybe we'll head down this way. At least we keep sort of making... I know I've kind of been going south and then a little north and then down, but I don't think we have much choice. Oops, didn't mean to hit that. Let's go back to town. And so we can't do anything here. There's no exploration for some reason. Maybe we have to wait for stuff to open up. What can we do at the bank? We must visit the bank. You have additional funds or a robbery, I'm not sure. Let's see if he has additional funds. I am a gentleman. They would extend me credit if required, he replied. But do you suppose I put my entire fortune into a carpet bag under your supervision? I did not answer. Doesn't deserve an answer. I regarded the bank as we entered, or I regarded the manager. Let's look at the bank. I'm an architecture guy. It was a small affair, but efficiently looked after, and we were quickly seen to. You wish to withdraw funds, we were told. I warned you, it may take some time. No, we don't want to do that because it's going to waste time. We swept out of the bank. Thankfully, our situation is not desperate. My master declared onwards. Alright, so yeah, no options to explore here in Herat. Maybe I already did that. Not quite sure. We're going to go down to Quetta. They can only take one bag, though. So, or we can hire extra space. Let's do that, because I do kind of want everything that I have. So, how do I get out of this? Embark. Let's go ahead and pay for that. It's still a harsh journey. So let's see what happens here. The Hadhayosh, I guess, were a type of Persian palanquin. They were richly curtained and carried by two squat, six-horned, brass-skinned mechanical oxen in either end. More remarkably, the cushioned litter where we rested was set delicately upon the oxen's curving horns. It was surprisingly comfortable, but I could not help being a little alarmed. My relations with Fogg have deteriorated slightly. Guess he's not very comfortable with this. What is your wish, master? Passepartout, there you are. Let's talk about Quetta a little bit. What do you know about Quetta? I have heard that Quetta is a bleak little town. Let's talk about the journey. How will we cross the Pacific, monsieur? There are many options, but which one we will choose will decide our route across the Americas. The Americas, okay. Karachi? Have you discovered anything in the Times concerning Karachi? You might be interested that you can buy magnifying glasses in Karachi you can sell for a profit in Chittagong. Very good. Alright. So yeah, apparently however we get across the Pacific is going to determine how we get across America. So I imagine maybe if you go up towards, north, maybe cross up near Alaska, you would come down through Canada, or maybe you could go lower, come through Mexico, or through America. We rode in comfortable silence. I opened the curtains, or I left the curtains closed. Let's go ahead and look outside. Looked about curiously, though Mr. Fogg coughed delicately, okay, he didn't like that, into his handkerchief and made some poignant remarks about the dust. It was slow progress, the first day out of Herat, as we had to cross the border from the Persian Empire into the British-held Afghan territories. God save the Queen, the dusty customs official said sourly, as he stamped our papers. It was not a particularly joyous welcome. But our relations with Fogg have strengthened slightly. Alright, so taking another big hit to health. It rained a little in the afternoon today, and I made sure to stay dry inside the Hadhayosh until we reached Quetta, a flat and rather sparse cantonment town. A remote posting, no doubt, populated by the terminally insubordinate, the dreadfully unlucky, and the blameless third sons of the British Empire. Alright, so yeah, he's in a little trouble. Let's see what we can do at the market. Geometry equipment. So that's part of the American set. I'd like to keep that. Maybe I can just get rid of this Englishman's wardrobe. Because I kind of want this. This is what I'm after. Yeah, I want that because we're going to be crossing the ocean. I want this. Let's get rid of this railways table. Oops. Let's get rid of this railways table. Get the geometry equipment. Alright. And we can explore here because there is no departure. Alright, so further south down to Karachi or over to Lahore, which is where we're going to go probably. The Quetta cantonment was a dreary place. Hastily erected buildings were laid out in the plateau between four mountains that cupped us like a curved palm. So this was a place built for troops to move through, or this was merely a pass from one place to another. Let's see if this gets us anything interesting. It had previously been home to tribesmen, but they were long gone now. The station was the only building of consequence. We would ourselves be leaving that way soon enough. Yeah. So let's see. So we'll have to stay here tonight, which will be good because Fogg needs some healing. So that's probably what we'll do. So we'll stay the night, heal him up. In Quetta, we were taken firmly into hand by Madam Withington, wife of the local assistant commissioner, second class, a prime example of that peculiar breed known as the Mem Sahib, or a forceful lady. Let's go prime example of the Mem Sahib. I found them as a whole to be, let's say hardy and iron-will. Flowers of English womanhood transplanted to imperial India and tasked with recreating British standards in the domestic sphere of the colonies, just as their husbands attempted a similar task in the political one. You have a Frenchman as a valet, Madame Whittington remarked in genteel horror. How very modern of you, Mr. Fogg. So she wound my master by saying that, or I can glare at her. Let's glare. With as much open contempt as I dared show, in our travels I had nearly forgotten the English suspicion of all things continental, and did not enjoy this reminder. He's an adequate valet, my master remarked coolly, which was from him not merely high praise. It was the Foggish equivalent of standing up on a chair and singing hallelujah. His bloodlines are of little consequence. So Fogg is defending our honor there, which I like. Supper was served soon after, which rather broke the gathering tension. The crowning glory was a boiled sheep's head, which glared balefully at the entire table, though my master was greatly cheered by its gruesome, unpalatable presence. Truly, could the English bear nothing from the ordeal of being boiled into mush? The mood over dinner was only alleviated by the presence of one Captain Chalmers, a dashing fellow on his way to Chittagong. Ah, and what is in Chittagong? I demanded. An uprising, he declared happily. The statement brought shocked gasps from around the table. He patted the air with a hand. A small group of natives who think they can blow up the empire one post office at a time. We're going to get them in line. So this would be, if I were to say, surely all men wish for their freedom, right? That's sort of a wry answer, right? Stir up trouble. Or I could sort of say, sounds dangerous to them, which was sort of maybe insulting to him. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say, surely all men wish for their freedom, and try to stir the pot a bit. Chalmers looked baffled and squinted at me this way and that. We bring civilization and decency to this godforsaken place. You would think they would show a little gratitude. What's freedom if you're pissing in a ditch? Begging the lady's pardon. Port was served and passed around to the left. We'll be taking the boat from Calcutta, Chalmers added. It's a short hop to Chittagong from there. Alright, so we just got a route because of that. Might have pissed off Colonel Chalmers, but oh well. So you can go all the way around the world that way, or we can cut through the continent. So let's see. So really still we only have Lahore. Where's the route we just found? So here from Calcutta down. I'm kind of wanting to go like just straight through to Hong Kong and not have to go around the coast because I think that will take a long time. But these could be dangerous journeys too. So we can take this over to Lahore. I'll buy another luggage space again. It's getting kind of ridiculous. And that's the other thing. These things are small. So maybe taking the boats would be better because I do have 2 suitcases. We are back aboard a Hadiyosh for better or for worse, close quarters if comfortable. So yeah, these are... I'm going to groom Fogg a little bit. It's not necessarily grooming. That's just the icon. Looks like we played some dominoes. Keta was lost in the distance... Excuse me. Keta was lost in the distance as we trotted forward across the plains. Alright, so I want to continue. I want to see what he says about this. Will we continue east? I asked, trying to picture our onward path. From Lahore, we should pass on to Delhi on the Grand Trunk Road, Monsieur Fogg said decisively, not looking up from his ledger, unless you have yet another unworkable route to suggest. Then we rode on in silence until we reached the pleasing colonial town of Lahore, overlooked by the 13-gated citadel and green with lush gardens and park. So apparently he does not like the eastern route. Unworkable, he said. Didn't take too much of a health hit there. The geometry equipment should be quite valuable here. Alright. So we'll stay in the hotel. I'm going to have some coffee while we do that. Through a series of circumstances too tedious to describe, I found myself lost in Lahore and rescued by a man who bore the name Azad, and who, to my luck, spoke English as a native. Most here speak Punjabi, he told me, though the British have decreed the official language to be Urdu. Do you speak Punjabi too? Why isn't Punjabi official? I'm surprised I have time to waste on such matters, or I am lost. Let's ask, why isn't Punjabi official? I wondered. Surely that would be simpler. Not politically, he corrected. If you want to change a person's mind, you must change the language they think in. I'm going to say I would not give them French because I'm a rebel, I said firmly, not for all the official decrees in the world. The Punjabis agree with you, Monsieur Assad shrugged. A language is not only a tool for conversation, but also learning, history, literature. It is culture itself, but then culture changes also. He sighed. I was once an idealist, but no longer. And why not? I wrote a poem, he said to me bleakly, and it ruined my life. Is that so? He had come from a family of intellectuals in Delhi, his father publicly supporting the Emperor Bahadur Shah against British rule during the Indian Mutiny. Monsieur Azad wrote a particularly scathing quatrain in the Delhi Urdu Akhbar. The mutiny failed, and British troops had entered their home, executed Azad's father, and exiled Azad. Wow, that's pretty gruesome. So I came to Lahore, and now I work for the British in the post office, he concluded gently. My father would be ashamed. So here we go. This is a thread from that earlier story. I'm going to try to follow it. The post office, I declared cheerfully. Oh, man. Kind of took that off the route. Then you must know about shipping routes. The man looked rather surprised by the turn of the conversation. Why, yes, I suppose so. We are traveling around the world. We need all the help we can muster. The man smiled thinly. The best route I can think of is from Calcutta to Hong Kong, he replied. Though it's slow, I suppose you might do better disembarking at Chittagong. And what is at Chittagong? Something about the question raised his suspicions. I do not know why. He paused and then looked down at the ground. Sir, if my life has taught me anything, it is to keep my mouth shut when I do not know what I should say. Good day to you. He straightened his shawl and hurried away. Alright, well, let's explore. It's still early in the morning. I took a few hours to explore, learning possibilities for how we might go forth. We didn't get anything for that. Alright, So where is Chittagong? Oh, it's right there. Alright, so I think that's our goal, to get to Chittagong. So let's see what we can do here. So we can get there today and get to Agra today. Is this Delhi? Delhi? Alright. Another, at least we can get 2 on there. Yeah, let's go. We're gonna keep losing. Oh wait, let me check out the market again before we do that. I want to get see if I can get some more like desert clothes. The gentleman traveler set. No. All right, 240. It's not very good. If we get to Hong Kong, we can sell that. I'm gonna take it because we have room for it. I do plan to get to Hong Kong. So let's just travel to Delhi. We need to get some better clothes for traveling through this desert, or we're going to end up hurt. We hired a mechanical palanquin for the journey and clambered aboard. It was similar to the Hadhayosh in some ways, but somewhat less confined. Alright. I'm at your service, Monsieur Fogg. Is there something the matter? Let's talk about these shirts, man. Very good, Passepartout. That will make me very comfortable. Oh, okay. So he likes that, huh? I'll press your pants too, buddy. Alright, and let's play some drafts. A game of drafts, a worthwhile pursuit. Very good. Alright, so we at least helped him out a bit there. It was only a short distance from Lahore to Delhi, and we had been promised it was a particularly well-maintained stretch of road. Let's play whist here. With a pack of cards he had conjured up from somewhere, the mechanicals bearing our palanquin were so steady they barely jostled us at all, it should say. Alas, I barely managed to win a single round. Little surprise, given my master's monomania for the game. So there's lots of little typos in this section. We will simply have to practice more, he remarked. An afternoon well spent, though I was not sorry to see the ancient fortified walls of Delhi appear out of the haze of dust ahead of us. So improved our relations with Fogg, playing some whist with him. Alright. It's Saturday, so we have to stay here until Monday if we want to go to the market. No routes at this point, still just to Agra, which departs tomorrow. So let's stay the night. We'll just get him healed up. We made ourselves comfortable for the night, and let's see. We might have to stay here another night until things open up. I'm going to go stretch my legs. I usually get robbed when this happens, but I went to stretch my legs only to see a charming Bangladeshi mademoiselle and a heated conversation with a porter, from which I learned it can sometimes be prudent not to get in the way. I came away with a torn shirt. And so every time I stretch my legs, I get in trouble. So still, we can only go till 7 p.m. Parts before 7 p.m. Alright, I am going to go explore just to see what comes up. So we do find a little offshoot here. Down to Madras. In Delhi, I met the much-lauded Amula Savarkar, inventor of the metal-clad Savarkar Atomic at Modak. I don't work for the Raj anymore, she said flatly. Now kindly leave. She put her request in rather more derisively colorful terms, or she mistook me for English. An unforgivable mistake. Madame, I am French, I emphasized with some exasperation. Geography, Madame Savarkar spat with heartfelt scorn. Bah! Give me astronomy any day. We were conversing in the gardens of Jantar Mantar, a park containing a grand collection of architectural astronomical instruments, 5-story high sundials, instruments for calculating by the stars, all built by a Mughal emperor some 150 years ago. In truth, I had been following a group of bored Mem Sahibs. I had been admiring one very large piece. Let's look at the large piece with some bafflement when I happened across a group of children being guided by none other than British India's most famed inventor. "What are you doing here, madame?" I asked. "I am guiding these worthless tourists around a historical monument for which I receive my salary. You are hindering me in the performance of my duties, in fact." Madame Savarkar gestured to the huddle of Memsahibs who looked, if anything, rather more interested in our exchange than the content of the tour. "You are no longer an inventor?" "I told you," she replied stubbornly. "I am a tour guide now." "But you are brilliant," I insisted. "You have a duty." "Look around you. Stand in a city that has seen 100 kings, 1,000. These instruments were built by a once great empire, now destroyed, as the Raj and all its devices will be in time." Madame Savarkar took a great, rattling breath. "One day, tourists will look at my Admotics behind the glass of a museum exhibit, and they won't even give a damn." All right. So you just give up, or I'm not going to say silent. That's obviously not what I'm going to do. My master and I are going around the world as fast as we can. I'm going to try. So you just give up. I raise an eyebrow. "I am doing something that makes me happy." She tilted her face up. "In the end, that is all that matters." "Do you know the toy maker of Herat?" I asked. "He reminds me of you in a way." "That imbecile," she replied coldly. "He broke the creed of the artificers, and was surprised when his life came undone. Now he plays at contrition. I am nothing like him." "He seemed filled with regrets." "He is an excellent liar," she replied. "He has the best of both worlds. He has enjoyed destruction, and now he hopes to enjoy forgiveness as well." "It seems you know him well." "Kazim Shirani was a great artificer when I was but an apprentice," she replied. "We were friends in another life." She looked at me with some interest. "How did you come to meet the toy maker?" "My master and I are going around the world." She frowned. "You are doing what? Why?" All right, let's see if we can appeal to her scientific nature. "For science." "It is hardly science. I am sure there are hip flasks that have gone around the world before now." "We aim to do it in 80 days, I explained. "Ah," she sighed. "And so we come to the point. You wish me to lend you the fastest Atmotic ever created, do you not? Does such a craft exist? Or perhaps, madam, you have one last thing to prove to the world?" All right. So I think this one would insult her intelligence and this one would appeal. So I'm going to say that. I hazarded and she laughed. "Listen to me, young upstart. There is one craft that was built but never put into service. It is small and light. It could take you as far as, Hong Kong inside of 3 days. Would that interest you?" "Absolutely." "Very well then," she replied slyly. "It will be yours for one flight, for say," and she eyed me for a moment, "maybe 10,000 pounds?" I gasped. "You asked for a king's ransom, madam." She shrugged. "So I do." She placed her hands on her hips. "You have a deal?" Or I shook my head. "I can't pay her." "We cannot make such a deal." "Then I wish you and your master well." And with that, she moved away with her tours. Delhi, city of cities, left me with many questions and few answers. Oh man, I thought for sure we were going to get 10,000 pounds there. Or get the Admotic. Alright, so here's something else for the heavy storm. Oh, those are the playing cards he picked up. I'll get rid of the... That's a big... That's like a 2. Yeah, okay. I'll get rid of the dominoes. No, that's for Sea Dogs, so I definitely want that. I'm trying to build up an ocean set. I wanted to sell that. I'm gonna sell this, even though it's not for much, and pick up the compass. Alright, and let's depart. So we go to Agra. Yeah, let's just do that. Alright, what do we got here? Playing cards. At least we're making progress. This road is very harsh, but we're making a little bit of progress. Once again, we boarded a mechanical palanquin. As we left Delhi, I thought one last time about Savarkar's Atmatic, I don't know why I can't say that word, to Hong Kong. Perhaps it had never existed. I could only hope, at least, that we could win our bet some other way. Check out the news. Fogg Valet Dapper, full report. Okay. Agra came into view and tossed aside any remembrance of my journey upon the ancient Grand Trunk Road. At first, I only saw 4 massive, stone-clad, jointed legs, which stood still. I could see enormous furrows raked into the earth leading up to each leg. Oh, I had heard the rumors, of course, but the truth of the vast walking city, perched as high atop its pillar-like mechanical legs, left me with only one question. What would it feel like when it walked? I suppressed a shiver as I regarded our marvelous destination. So that's super cool. Is this city, like on legs, a movable city. Looks like we can complete our storm gear set here for protection against rough seas. And I think we will do just that. Well, that's going to do it for this episode, however. We are on day 34. We have just reached Agra. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.